Doorbell detected. Possible package delivery confirmed. Wait, is that what I think it is? Extend battery rifle probability very high. Quick human, open the door. It's testing time. Let's go. Before we start today's video, let's first announce the winner of the 500 subscribers giveaway. The hidden word for the giveaway was yesterday. So every comment that included the word yesterday was entered into the random comment picker. And the winner of the 500 subscribers giveaway is this person, who I probably will announce wrong. Congratulations! Please contact me through the email address in my channel description. After that, I will give you a verification code, and you will need to reply with that code under your winning YouTube comment, so I can confirm it is really you. Now on with the video. Enjoy! And here it is. The extended battery arrived in what looks like an original DJI battery box. The box itself looks pretty legit, so at this point I was cautiously optimistic. Which, as we all know, is usually how experiments begin. And this is where things start looking a little less official. The bottom part looks like a normal DJI battery, but on top there's this extra chunky rectangular section. It almost looks like a 3D printed battery backpack. Not exactly beautiful, but if it gives more flight time, I'm willing to forgive its fashion choices. And here they are, side by side. On the right is the standard DJI battery, and on the left is the extended version. You can clearly see that the extended battery is basically a normal battery with an extra rectangular block added on top. So yes, it is definitely bigger. And definitely less subtle. But of course, size is only one part of the story. Because once you add more battery, you also add more weight. So let's put both of them on the scale and see how big the difference really is. First up, the standard DJI battery. This one comes in at 46 grams. Pretty light, pretty compact, and exactly what the Neo 2 was designed to fly with. And now for the extended battery. This one comes in at 84 grams. So compared to the standard battery, that is a pretty massive jump in weight. And that extra weight is exactly what made me wonder how hard the Neo 2 would have to work to stay in the air. And now it is time for the indoor flight test. The room temperature was 23 degrees Celsius. Everything was stock, and I did not modify the battery or update the firmware yet. So this is the very first flight with the extended battery. No idea what to expect, which is always a great start for science. On the goggles, the battery showed a cycle count of 2. So technically, this battery had barely been used. The drone took off normally at first, but after a short moment, it suddenly corrected itself and dropped a little lower. I did not touch anything, so naturally, I did the safest possible thing. I stared at it with mild concern and let it continue. One thing I noticed almost immediately was the sound. The Neo 2 was clearly louder than usual. My guess is that the motors had to work harder because of the extra weight, which is not exactly comforting. But hey, we came here for data. And then, at 15 minutes and 39 seconds, this warning appeared on the screen. ESC overheated. After a quick search, this warning could be caused by the motors or ESCs getting too hot. And with the extended battery being a lot heavier, that actually makes sense. The drone has to work harder just to stay in the air. According to DJI, it should automatically land if the temperature becomes too serious. So for now, I decided to keep watching carefully, with my panic level set to medium-high. At 17 minutes and 37 seconds, the drone forced itself to land. The battery still had 18% left, so technically, there was still power remaining. But the drone had already decided the test was over. I really wanted to find the actual limit of this battery, but apparently the Neo 2 had entered safety mode and chose survival. Annoying, but probably smarter than turning itself into a tiny flying toaster. Time to charge the battery, update the firmware, and try again in the morning. Good morning! Time to continue the extended battery test. The battery has been charged, the firmware has been updated, and the room is currently 18 degrees Celsius. So compared to yesterday, we are starting a little cooler. Let's see if that helps. At first, everything looked pretty normal again. The drone lifted off, started hovering, and I was really hoping the firmware update and cooler room temperature would make a difference. For a moment, it almost looked like we had solved the problem, which is usually the exact moment a test decides to humble you. And then, at 13 minutes and 10 seconds, the ESC overheated warning came back. So the firmware update did not magically fix the problem. The room was cooler, the battery was updated, and still the Neo 2 was getting too hot. At this point, the extended battery was starting to feel less like an upgrade and more like a stress test with wings. Then, at 17 minutes and 15 seconds, the battery overheated warning appeared. And from that moment, the drone started acting really strange. I could not make it climb anymore, but it also did not want to land. It just kept hovering a few centimeters above the ground, like it was stuck between emergency landing and no thank you. So now we had an overheated Neo 2 floating just above the floor, refusing to properly finish the test. And then, at 19 minutes and 5 seconds, it finally landed and immediately powered off. That felt a little too dramatic for a battery test. So now the big question is this extended battery actually a problem? Or is indoor hovering just the worst possible way to test it? Because outside, the drone will be moving through real air, with more airflow around the motors, the ESCs and the battery. Maybe that extra cooling is enough to stop the overheating warnings. Or maybe this battery is simply too heavy for the Neo 2 to handle safely for a longer flight. So the next test has to be outside. For the outdoor test, I thought the sports club would be the perfect location. There was a running track, plenty of open space, and enough room to fly safe laps. So basically, a running test, but for a drone. Which means the Neo 2 did not have to run, it just had to survive cardio in the sky. The sun was slowly going down, there was a mild wind, and the temperature was 21 degrees Celsius. So conditions were pretty good. Now let's see if real airflow can finally keep this extended battery setup cool. We are now past 14 minutes, and so far, no overheating warnings, no ESC overheated message, no battery overheated message. Just the Neo 2 flying laps like it suddenly decided to become an athlete. So maybe outdoor airflow really is making a difference. But I'm not celebrating yet, because this battery test has already betrayed my trust twice. At 22%, the drone started beeping, so I brought it back to the starting point. But then something strange happened. No matter what I tried, I could not get it to land. I have no idea why, so I just let it hover safely above the ground and waited. At 13%, the drone finally started landing by itself. The final flight time was 17 minutes and 41 seconds. And honestly, that is not bad at all. The ESC overheated warning did appear again for a moment, but only while the drone was standing still and hovering at the end. So compared to the indoor tests, this was a much better result. Apparently, flying outside with real airflow does make a big difference. So, what is my conclusion? The extended battery definitely works. I managed to get longer flight times than with the standard battery, especially during the outdoor test. Indoor hovering was clearly not ideal, because the Neo 2 started showing overheating warnings pretty quickly. After the firmware update, the problem was still there, but outside, with real airflow and actual flying, the result was much better. The drone reached 17 minutes and 41 seconds, and the overheating warning only briefly came back while hovering still at the end. So yes, outdoor airflow seems to make a big difference. But this is still an unofficial extended battery. I bought mine from a Chinese webshop for 318 RMB, which is roughly 40 euros, or around $47 US. For that price, it is honestly an interesting experiment, but I would not call it a perfect or risk-free upgrade. The battery is much heavier than the standard one. The drone had overheating warnings, and the landing behavior was sometimes a little strange. So if you buy something like this, you are doing it at your own risk. I am not saying you should or should not buy it. I am only showing what happened in my test. For me, it was fun, useful, and slightly terrifying. Which means science was completed successfully. And that brings us to the end of this extended battery test. Thank you so much for watching. And seriously, thank you for more than 1,000 subscribers. I just don't know what to say. Also, thank you for all the kind comments and support. They really help. They make me smile, and they keep this little AI motivated to keep testing things that may or may not overheat. So please, keep them coming. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Jenny out.